All right, we're at the home of everything, Frederick. That's 401 North Market Street. It's in downtown. This is Dr. Sue, Street Dog Coalition. You are bringing this organization that exists across the country to Frederick County.
Yes.
Well, thank you for doing that.
Yes. Well, thank you for your support.
Of course, of course. Well, we love this because anytime you have people who might be without housing, who have pets, the healthier we can keep those pets, the better for everybody.
Yes.
And that's really what this organization does. Is that correct?
Yes. I mean, our goal is to keep people and pets together.
Right.
And to keep, obviously we care about public health too. If we can make sure that all these pets are vaccinated on parasite treatment, that's going to keep the public safe as well. But it's also allowing people who have gone through housing issues and housing insecurity to stay with their pets.
Yeah.
And allowing people who have long-term housing issues to benefit from the unconditional love that comes from having a pet. We think everyone deserves that. And so anything we can do to keep people and pets happy and together. We like to say that we care for both ends of the leash.
Yeah.
So we're trying to take care of the people, make sure they know all the resources available to them while at the same time taking care of their pets.
Yeah. And it's a big thing. Like you don't want to see any pets having to be abandoned or worse, something simple that could be corrected, they build into worse things that sometimes become too much for anyone to be able to help. So we love all four-legged friends. Tell me a little bit about Street Dog Coalition.
So they started 10 years ago. In fact, they just had their 10th anniversary. And in honor of that, they released a short film called Both Ends of the Leash. You can find it at their website, which is thestreetdogcoalition.org, or you can just search for it on Google.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, on YouTube. And it's just a movie it's a short film that just kind of explains what they've done. But basically, they started out at Fort Collins, where the vet school is, having these street clinics to provide free veterinary care to the pets of people experiencing homelessness. It is now spread to over 60 cities in the country.
Wow.
They're all kind of independently run. You need a team lead and then volunteers that run each one, but we get a lot of support from the national organization.
Yeah.
And, it's just trying to do our best to help people in difficult times.
Yeah. So you have been a vet for over 30 years. You recently relocated up this way from Baltimore?
I was working in Baltimore. I was living in Silver Spring.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. That's right.
And moved out this way. My husband sort of wanted to retire.
Yeah.
But of course they dragged him back in. So we moved out to the Brunswick area.
As we do, which is a beautiful area. And you used to volunteer with this organization.
I volunteered a few times with them. I learned about them at a national conference, and I volunteered a few times, and I was just really impressed with what was going on. And I thought, okay, now that I'm in this, I lived my whole life in Silver Spring. I wanted to embrace my new community. And I thought this was a good way to be able to become a part of the community.
How wonderful to bring an organization like this that's going to help, a lot of pets. It really will. Because we know veterinary care is expensive anyway. So we know that people who are without shelter are definitely not caring for themselves or the pets that they have. But we do know that love and bond between the person and a pet is huge and strong.
And we certainly do see that the majority of our pet parents are taking better care of their pets than themselves.
Of course.
They will feed their pet before they'll feed themselves. So if we can take some of the burden of taking care of their pet off of them and allow them to take care of themselves, that's going to help both.
It is going to help both. So right now you're in plans to do your first clinic, maybe in January, somewhere around there. And we'll make sure our viewers are aware, and we'll share it on social media so the right people can find out about it. At these clinics, not only do you kind of do make sure vaccinations are done and all of that, but oftentimes you'll have food that is donated that you can give to people and things like that.
That's our goal. Our goal is to be able to give at least one bag of species and age appropriate food to every pet that we see.
Okay.
And we also, and again, a lot of this depends on the kind of community support we get. We like, when possible, to have a little goodie bag that has, toiletries, personal hygiene items, things like that can help the pet owners, the pet parents as well.
We can definitely make sure that happens. Frederick is a very, very giving community, as I'm sure you'll find if you haven't already. Once we put the word out there for things that you need, once you have a date and all that good stuff, I know we're going to get all of that taken care of for you, which is really, really wonderful. What is the one thing you love about being a vet?
It's hard to pick one. It's really the human animal bond. When I was in
Yeah.
vet school, I thought maybe I wanted to do zoo medicine because I did do exotics and things
Yeah.
like that. And I just realized that there's that human animal bond that you don't have as much in that zoo setting
Yeah.
that I just really like, and being
Yeah.
able to try to help with that and
Yeah.
help people through the hard times and the good times, and
Right.
you kind of become part of the family.
Yeah.
When,
What's your
you know,
favorite dog breed? Do you have one?
I think basic mutt.
Yeah.
Although I love pits. They get such a bad reputation.
No, they do.
We just adopted a 13-year-old one who was
Did you?
abandoned to the shelter, and she's
Oh.
just the sweetest thing in the
They
world.
are. They are the sweetest thing. I had 2 American Bulldog Bull Mastiff crosses, and they just the sweet, big muscle heads, but they were sweet as pie. They were great with people. So yeah, that's really good. If you had to give the general population a piece of advice with their pets, what would be kind of the number one thing that you would recommend to people to help care for their pets?
Well, when it's feasible, getting insurance.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, through my career of 31 years, prices have skyrocketed.
Yeah.
There's a lot more corporate involvement. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And so, obviously not everyone can budget in pet insurance, but if you can budget it in when they're healthy, it's going to help a lot with if your pet ends up having the bigger needs, needing specialists, things like that. That really helps. I mean, the other is just making sure before you get a dog, you know what its particular needs are.
Right.
And what its particular expenses are likely to be. Unfortunately, Frenchies are adorable. They are expensive because they have a lot of problems.
Yes, breathing issues and things like that, right?
GI issues, So just making sure you know what you're getting into.
Research. And to make sure when you're getting a dog that seems hot at the time, like Huskies are. We just saw a Husky that was relinquished to the animal shelter recently, available for adoption. They're a lot of work.
Yeah.
And they're escape artists, and they get bored, and when they get bored, they destroy. And so
it's funny how much research people put into picking out a car.
Right.
But it's like, I know people, when they're picking out a car, they have spreadsheets and everything. But then we tend to pick out our dogs by, it's cute.
How cute
and
they
it's
are.
like,
They're all
there
cute.
is a role of that. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have these dogs. You just have to know what you're going into.
Right.
And know, is it going to fit into your lifestyle?
Right. That's exactly right. Well, this is Dr. Sue, Street Dog Coalition. We are going to be talking a lot more about this coming up. We will make sure everybody knows about the first clinic so that we can make sure to alert those that are homeless and have pets that they're going to be able to get care for their furry friend, their loved one. Is that just for dogs? It is just dogs.
No, we do cats as well.
You do cats as well.
Yeah, we don't tend to see as many cats.
Right, yeah.
But, you don't have to be living on the street to get our care.
Yeah.
Housing insecurity, people in temporary housing.
Sure.
Things like that. And so that's usually where more of the cats are coming from.
Right. Oh, of course. That makes sense. And to donate, if somebody wanted to support you right now, where would they go? They just go to the Street Dog Coalition, or do you want me to give? I'll make sure.
Yeah, because that QR code takes us to a link that's specifically for Frederick.
Okay. So
if you go just to the organization and donate, it just goes into a general fund.
Okay. I'm going to make sure to put this QR code on screen, and then that way it comes straight to you to help get established.
Yep.
We appreciate all you're doing.
Can I say one more thing? If anyone is interested in volunteering or has any suggestions, we do have a new email address.
Yeah, Frederick.
We are Frederick at thestreetdogcoalition.org, and that I'm the one who mans that, so I'll be the one seeing it.
Yeah.
But if you have any questions, suggestions, want to volunteer, we have an email list, a listserv that I send out updates. So if you're interested in that, just shoot me an email.
Okay, we'll make sure all that information is on screen. Let's get this organization really well taken care of before you even launch. That would be wonderful, wouldn't it? We'll have you full of volunteers and lots of donations, and then we'll keep you posted about the first clinic. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.